Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Studio. My name is Celia.
And I'm Adam. We are so happy to have you with us today for another episode. How are you doing, Celia?
I'm doing great, Adam. I'm really excited about today's topic. It's something that is so important for making connections and, well, for just having fun.
That's right. Today we are talking all about hobbies, how to talk about what you love to do in English.
Exactly. We'll give you the words, the phrases, and even share some of our own funny stories. So, Adam, let's start with you. What are some of your hobbies?
Oh, the usual. I'm a man of many talents. I dabble in a bit of gourmet cooking, for example.
Gourmet cooking? Really? I seem to remember a story involving a fire alarm and a pizza that looked like a piece of charcoal.
Okay, you got me. My hobby is more experimental cooking. Sometimes the experiment goes wrong. Very wrong. But hey, it's a learning process.
I'm sure it is. Well, whether your hobby is cooking, reading, or something totally unique, you'll learn how to talk about it today. We promise this episode will be much more successful than Adam's cooking.
That's a very low bar, but yes. And hey, if you are new here and want to follow along on our learning journey, make sure you subscribe and like English Studio. That way you'll never miss a lesson.
Great reminder, Adam. Okay, so first things first, why is it even important to be able to talk about your hobbies in English?
That's a great question. I think the most obvious reason is that it's a fantastic way to connect with people. When you meet someone new, what do you do for fun is one of the first things people ask.
It's a classic icebreaker. It helps you find common ground. Maybe you both love hiking or playing video games.
Exactly. But it's not just for making friends. It can also be really important in more formal situations, like a job interview.
Oh, for sure. An interviewer might ask about your hobbies to understand your personality better. Are you creative? Are you a team player? Your hobbies can say a lot about you.
Right. So if you say your hobby is playing chess, it suggests you're strategic. If you play a team sport like football, it shows you can work with others.
So, what are some common hobbies people have? We have things like reading, listening to music, watching movies.
Yep. Or more active ones like playing sports, hiking, dancing, going to the gym. Then there are creative hobbies like painting, playing the guitar, photography.
And my personal favorite, professional napping.
Ah, yes, professional napping. I think I'm an expert in that one, actually. I've been training for years.
Me too. See, we just connected over a shared hobby. And speaking of professional, if you want to become a professional in English, hitting that subscribe button for English Studio is a great first step.
Smooth, Celia, very smooth. Okay, so now that we know why it's important, let's get into the language. How do we actually talk about our hobbies?
Let's start with the basics. There are many ways to say what you like to do. The simplest is just using the verb like. For example, I like reading.
Right, or I like to read. Both are correct. After like, you can use the verb with ing, or you can use to plus the verb. I like playing football, or I like to play football.
If you want to show you have a stronger feeling, you can use love. I love hiking in the mountains.
Or enjoy. I enjoy watching old movies. Enjoy usually follows the verb with ing. We don't say I enjoy to watch.
That's a great point. Another really natural, common phrase is I'm into. It means you are interested in and enthusiastic about something. For example, I'm really into photography.
I like that one. It sounds very cool and casual. Lately, I'm into listening to podcasts, like English Studio.
Of course. And then there's the classic direct way. My hobby is gardening, or my hobby is playing chess.
Okay, let's recap those. I'll say them slowly so our listeners can repeat. I like, I love, I enjoy, I'm into, my hobby is.
Perfect. Now, what about saying how often you do your hobby? Frequency is important to add more detail to your conversation.
Yes, we can use adverbs of frequency, like always, usually, often, sometimes, or never. For example, I usually go for a run in the morning.
Right, or I sometimes play video games on the weekend. Remember, these words usually go before the main verb. I sometimes play.
But after the verb to be. So I am always busy, not I always am busy.
Excellent distinction. There are also phrases we can use usually at the end of a sentence, like every day, once a week, twice a month, or 3 times a year.
Let me give some examples. I practice the piano every day. I go to a yoga class once a week. We visit the museum about twice a month.
You can also say things like on weekends or in my free time. I like to relax and read books on weekends.
This is so useful. We love making these episodes for you all. And if you love them too, please show your support and subscribe to English Studio. It really helps us keep creating this content for you.
It really does. Okay, we've talked about why and how to discuss hobbies. Now for my favorite part, real stories.
Oh boy, are you going to make me tell my cooking disaster story?
I am. You have to. It's too funny not to share. Tell us about your hobby of experimental cooking.
All right. So, a few months ago, I decided I was going to cook a very fancy pasta dish for a dinner date. I was trying to impress, you know?
I can imagine.
I got all the ingredients, watched the video tutorial like 10 times. Everything was going okay until it came to the sauce. The recipe said simmer gently.
Okay, simmer gently.
But I got a phone call and got distracted for maybe 5 minutes. When I came back, the sauce wasn't simmering. It was bubbling like a volcano, and it was thick and black.
Oh no.
Oh yes, the whole apartment started to fill with smoke. It smelled awful, like burnt sugar and sadness. And then, of course, the smoke alarm started screaming. It's so loud.
So what did you do?
I panicked. I was waving a towel at the smoke alarm, trying to open windows, and my date arrived right in the middle of all the chaos. Dinner was pizza that we ordered.
That's amazing. So using our phrases, you could say, I enjoy cooking, but I sometimes burn the food.
Exactly. Or, my hobby is setting off the smoke alarm once a month. Okay, your turn, Celia. Tell us about a hobby you have.
Okay, mine is a little less, dramatic. I'm really into photography, but I have a very specific subject.
Let me guess. Sunsets? Beautiful landscapes?
Nope. My cat, Leo.
Your cat?
Yes, I have thousands of photos of him. I love trying to capture his personality. I take photos of him when he's sleeping in a funny position or when he's playing with a toy. I even bought him little hats.
You bought your cat hats for photo shoots?
Of course, a little cowboy hat, a little birthday hat. He doesn't always love it, but the pictures are so cute. I usually spend my Saturday mornings trying to get the perfect shot.
That's hilarious. So you could say, I love photography and I take pictures of my cat almost every day.
I could, and I do. These are our stories, but hobbies can be anything. Maybe you collect stamps, or you build model airplanes, or you love gardening. It's all about what makes you happy.
That's the most important part. And we'd love to hear your stories. First, make sure you're subscribed to English Studio, and then get ready to share in the comments later on.
Okay, now it's time to put all this into practice. Let's do some mini role plays for different situations. Are you ready, Adam?
Born ready. Let's do it.
Situation 1, a job interview. I'll be the interviewer. Okay. So, Adam, thank you for coming in today. Can you tell me, what do you do in your free time?
That's a great question. In my free time, I'm an avid hiker. I really enjoy challenging myself on long trails on the weekends. It helps me clear my head, and I find it improves my problem-solving skills.
Excellent answer. See how he connected his hobby to a positive skill? Very smart. Okay, situation 2. You're at a party meeting a new friend. You start, Adam.
Okay. Hey, I'm Adam. Nice to meet you. So, this is a great party. What do you like to do for fun when you're not at cool parties?
Hey, Adam, I'm Celia. I'm really into live music. I try to go to a concert once or twice a month if I can. How about you?
Nice. Very natural and friendly. Okay, last one. Situation 3. A family dinner. You're my curious aunt.
I can do that. In a slightly higher voice. Adam Veer, it's so good to see you. Have you picked up any new hobbies lately? You're always so busy with work.
Hi, Aunt Celia. Actually, yes, I've started learning to play the guitar. I practice for about 20 minutes every evening. It's a great way to unwind after a long day.
Perfect. Warm, personal, and gives a little detail. Great job in the role plays, Adam.
Thank you. I try. And now it is time for our listener challenge.
That's right. We've given you the tools, and now we want you to use them.
Our challenge for you this week is to go to the comments section of this episode and tell us about your hobby. Use the phrases we learned today. Answer these two questions. What is your hobby and how often do you do it?
For example, you could write, "Hi, Adam and Celia. I'm into painting. I usually paint on weekends." Or, "My hobby is learning languages. I study English every day with your podcast."
We would love that. We will read as many of your comments as we can. It's a great way to practice and also to learn about what other listeners from our community enjoy doing.
Definitely. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us at English Studio.
We hope you learned a lot and had some fun with us. Don't forget to like this episode if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe to English Studio so you don't miss our next lesson. Oh yeah? Like what? Competitive cheese rolling?
We'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Bye everyone. Happy hobbying.